What if I told you the Lord of the Rings movies only showed half of the story? What you're about to hear isn't the movie version, it's the truth. Did you know Frodo used the ring far more often than the movies dared to show? On screen, he slips it on only in a few moments in Bree, on Weathertop, at Aemon Hen. But in Tolkien's text, Frodo calls upon the ring again and again. Not as a weapon, not as a toy, but as the desperate tool of a desperate hobbit. He puts it on at Aemon Hen. When Boromir breaks under the weight of temptation, he wears it upon the stinking stairs of Cirith Ungol, where the spider Shelob stalks him through shadows. He even uses it at the very crack of doom itself, not to hide but to claim. And here's the hidden truth. The ring never truly made its bearer invisible. It did the opposite. When Frodo slipped it on, he wasn't vanishing from the world, he was being dragged out of it, stripped from the scene, and hurled into the realm of the unseen, where the eye of Sauron burns forever open. Every use of the ring pulled him closer. Every choice, every desperate reach was another step toward being consumed. The films gave us a Frodo trembling but restrained. The book gave us a Frodo who risked his soul with every touch of gold. And yet Frodo was not the only ring bearer the movies hid from you. Because when the spider of Cirith Ungol stung Frodo, when his body lay pale and lifeless, it was Sam Gamgee, gardener of the Shire, loyal friend, son of Hamfast, who became the next bearer of the One Ring. Samwise the Stout-Hearted took the ring from Frodo's body, believing his master gone. He did not throw it away. He did not abandon it. He put it on a chain about his neck and carried it into Mordor. And the ring spoke to him. It showed him visions. It whispered power. In his mind, Sam beheld a Middle-earth remade deserts turned to gardens, mountains softened into green slopes, all under his rule. Samwise the Strong, Samwise the Magnificent, crowned as a gardener king. But Sam did something that almost no other soul could do. He laughed. He laughed at the temptation. He saw the absurdity of himself as master of the world, and he gave the ring up willingly, without breaking, without clinging, without being torn apart. Frodo could not. Isildur could not. Even mighty Galadriel nearly faltered. But Sam Gamgee, humble hobbit of the Shire, put the ring aside when his master lived. The movies gave us Sam the loyal. Tolkien gave us Sam the incorruptible. Now, while hobbits carried the burden in the dust and darkness, far above, the fate of Middle-earth turned on wings of wind and feather. For Gandalf the Grey, and later Gandalf the White, owed his life not once, not twice, but 3 times to the Eagles. This is no joke, no meme about flying to Mordor. The Eagles were not beasts of burden, not taxis in the sky. They were the free children of Eru, proud and noble, and they chose when to act. But act they did. The first time was upon the Tower of Orthanc. Imprisoned by Saruman, Gandalf was stranded, powerless, until Gwaihir the Windlord, Lord of Eagles, came at the bidding of Radagast and bore him away. The second time was after his battle with the Balrog of Morgoth, on the high peak of Zirak-Zigil. Gandalf lay broken, his body shattered by fire and stone, and again it was Gwaihir who found him and carried him to safety. The third time was at the end, the greatest rescue of all. When Frodo and Sam lay upon the burning rocks of Mount Doom, the ring destroyed, the mountain erupting in wrath, it was the Eagles who swept down through smoke and fire to bear them up from ruin. The Eagles never carried the ring into fire. They carried the ring-bearers out of it. But while Eagles soared and hobbits endured, a man walked Middle-earth under shadow and song, Aragorn, son of Arathorn. And Aragorn bore a secret gift, foresight. This was not magic like Gandalf's, nor prophecy like the doom of Mandos. It was the ancient blood of Númenor stirring within him, the gift of seeing what might be. Aragorn often felt doom before it fell. He knew what roads would bring ruin, what choices would lead to darkness. When he chose the paths of the dead, it was not reckless courage. It was foresight, the knowledge that in death lay the only road to victory. When he warned others of danger, when he sensed the weight of choices before they unfolded, it was Númenor speaking through him. Aragorn's eyes were not only for the present, they were set upon the shape of things to come. And yet Aragorn was never one man, never one name. The movies gave us Strider, the Ranger of the North, but Tolkien gave us a man of many names, each one a step in his story. As a child, he was Estel Hope, hidden in Rivendell from the enemy. As a young man wandering Gondor and Rohan, he was Thorongil, Eagle of the Star, serving incognito, striking swift against the foes of Gondor, then vanishing without glory. As a ranger, he was Strider, a name spoken half in mockery, half in fear. And at last he was Elisar, the Elfstone, the name of kingship fulfilled. Every name was a mask, but every mask was also a truth. Aragorn was not one man. He was all of them: hope, eagle, strider, king. And yet it was not only men who bore the weight of fate. For Arwen Undomiel, daughter of Elrond, Evenstar of her people, gave a gift more costly than any sword, any jewel, any crown. To Frodo she gave not a trinket, not a necklace alone, but her very place on the ships to the west. Arwen was half-elven. She had the choice of the undying lands. She chose mortality for love of Aragorn, and she passed her rite of passage to Frodo. When the War of the Ring was over, when the wounds of blade and venom and shadow left Frodo too broken for the Shire, it was Arwen's sacrifice that allowed him to sail. Her choice meant that Frodo could find healing in Valinor, but she would remain mortal, bound to Middle-earth, bound to sorrow. The movies gave us a jewel and a romance. The book gave us a sacrifice beyond measure. So remember this: Frodo's burden was heavier than the films ever showed. Sam's courage was greater than any screen revealed. Gandalf's rescues were won on the wings of eagles. Aragorn's path was lit by foresight, and his names told the story of a king before he wore the crown. And Arwen's love was no ornament. It was a gift that changed the fate of two worlds. The films gave us a tale. Tolkien gave us the truth.